It says talk.
Hey.
See how it moves?
Hey. I don't have a picture yet.
Let's get your video going.
Oops.
Look on there for video. Maybe you can't do video on that. Look on there for video. Maybe you can't do video on that.
Hey.
See how it's catching your audio.
Look
on there for video. Maybe you can't do video.
See?
What?
It's not giving me an option to.
Hey. See how it's catching your audio. Look on there for video. Maybe you can't do video. You think it's hearing you? Hold on. Add, invite people. Hold on. Hey. Jacob. It's catching your audio. Look on there for video. I just invited you.
I mean, I've got the Alan's going to call. There we go.
I just invited you.
Rolling?
Yeah, I've got the Alan's going to call.
What's rolling?
What do you mean it's rolling?
The camera's rolling.
You.
I just invited you. Rolling? Yeah, I've got the Alan's going to call. What's rolling?
What do you mean it's rolling?
The camera's rolling.
Do you see yourself? I see me.
What do you mean it's rolling?
Me.
The camera's rolling.
Do you see yourself? Okay. Well, we'll just assume that we're live then. And we'll see how this goes. It says live in the corner, so it should be good. We'll get this down.
Do you see yourself?
Okay. This is podcast number 2 for the Werewolves podcast. Jason and Jacob here today. Today's, I don't know if it's an interview necessarily, but today we're going to talk to Jacob Reynolds. Minor league baseball player, doesn't like to talk about that. That was a whole lifetime ago. Musician, father, a werewolf. And we're going to ask Jacob some questions, kind of like an interview, because I'm sure there's people out there who want to know more because they hear every day they hear Jacob Reynolds music in my videos series. And so we're going to let Jacob tell us a little bit about what a werewolves means to him and kind of why he's been involved and what his role is in this. Jacob?
Yes. Hey. Sorry, I just got to text him.
So why don't you...
What does the werewolf mean to me? Well, I think it's just a tool. The word the werewolf is just a tool to help bring attention to what we're all about.
And what are we all about?
Well, we think we're all about awareness.
Okay.
But how far along we are, we don't know.
Okay, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not challenging ourselves right now. We're just talking about what we try to do. We're going to talk as though it's okay to be on the journey. We assume that we're on the journey. Nobody's at the end of the journey. Okay, so different people are along different journeys. But what are you trying to accomplish by your involvement with me and the werewolves and the idea of promoting awareness and the importance of mindfulness?
Well, I think the reason that I do it is because I just think it's...
This is live, you know that, right?
When you want to when you help somebody, you get a feeling inside of you that feels really good. And you get sort of, or at least I do. I guess I don't speak from my experience, but I think this is a way to allow us to reach more people and just share, just nothing more than share experiences and then learn from each other.
So it's a way to share. But why would anybody want to share their experience? Do people need to share their experiences? Why is that important?
You can say what they need to do.
The nihilist is coming out of Jacob. Yeah, but you're gonna have to have a position on these things.
Why?
Well, I guess you don't have to have a position on these things, but the werewolves have a position on these things, which is that above maybe man-made laws, above what your authority says, there are things that are important, and those things are cosmic and universal. They act upon all things at all times, so there's no way around it. Because those things act upon everything at once, we need to take them into consideration when we make all of our decisions, because they're acting on everything at once. So we're just trying to make awareness important, more important, through sharing our individual experiences.
Right.
And we have some unique experiences. You're a musician, you're a father,
Right.
you were an athlete, so you've got perspective, you've got lessons that you learned the hard way, like we all do. And those are what you're trying to help promote, the lessons you learned the hard way, so that other people don't have to learn them the hard way, right?
Well, I just try and tell, yeah, exactly. More or less, just try and tell my story. You're going to take whatever you take from it.
Let people relate to it, of course.
Right.
And people are going to relate to different parts of it.
Right.
But what you're hoping people get out of it is that before this happened, you thought one way. After your experience, you recognized another way of thinking that after the experience seems more valuable than your initial way of thinking about an experience or circumstance.
One very instance, it was my first year of spring training baseball, and I had real bad allergies. It was in springtime, and the grass is just growing in Florida like it's on steroids.
It's a swamp. It's a swamp area.
So my eyes are welling up. So I go to the medical staff, and they're like, "Here, take these pills." Okay, so I took 2 of these pink pills, and so I went out and we were doing early morning drills, and I just felt so drained and just so tired,
lethargic.
Yeah, I was just like, I just feel zapped. And then the very next day, this player's name was CC Sabathia, and he came out to early morning drills, and he's like, "Oh, allergies would kill me." I was like, "Well, whatever you do, don't take those 2 pink pills." He goes, "Why? What happened?" I was like, "You're gonna be sleepy all day." He goes, "Man, they just gave me 2 pink pills."
If you're going to talk to him 5 seconds sooner, you learn the lesson the hard way. Well, Benadryl and things like that have those properties where they make you sleepy. So your allergies are better, but you're not awake to even notice.
They're only better because you're sleeping.
That's exactly right.
Well,
that's the inferred part of that statement. Yeah. So Jacob, let's talk about something current. What about the Olympics? How do you feel about the Olympics?
I don't know that I feel anything about the Olympics.
Okay, so you don't feel anything.
I only watched a couple of events, being the swimming, so they were all brief. So I don't have a strong opinion.
How do you feel about the importance of the entire world coming together peacefully?
I think that would be super important.
Well, that's what happens. So if you think it's important, then why don't you follow it if it's important? According to you, super important. Okay.
No.
So the actual application of it isn't important? Just the idea?
Ideas that are important that you don't apply for, but you do agree that they are important.
Help me understand what you mean.
let's see, like the choice for abortion.
Well, I think that if it doesn't apply to you, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to say what it's hard to say what you would do when it's hypothetical. But when it's like something that you actually have to determine, I think you're much more cautious and much less. Oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. No, it's more like, no, I want to play it safe.
Yeah, still don't have an opinion on these.
Okay. How about the presidential race?
I don't understand it.
What do you not understand about it?
I don't understand that these are the representatives for just two sides, and only two sides are allowed, and those are the rules. And you can only run if you have a certain amount of money, and money plays a huge role in our politics. And most people would tell you that they believe that there's some sort of corruption, or that the government basically doesn't run or operate or work for the people, which was intended according to the Constitution and all that stuff.
So, how do you feel about the presidential race? Which was my original question.
I don't watch it.
Do you know who's in it?
Trump and Hillary.
Do you know anything about each of them? Do you know anything about them?
About Trump and Hillary? Not much. It's not much personal because I can only read on the internet. So.
Well, okay, but very few people have personal experience with them. But do you know anything about what they, do you know anything about their past or anything? What's your impression of each of them?
I don't have a good impression of either.
So both of them.
But I haven't practiced their
Okay.
impression.
Okay. So you haven't tried to impersonate either one, so therefore you don't know.
Right. No, but yeah, I just think it's just weird. It's like a movie. It's like it's really fake.
What's fake?
The election.
Got it.
Or just the idea. It's that, like we were talking about, that only two people, and only these two people, the Democrat or Republican, no one else can run. Nobody else can qualify for this spot. Only these two people, these two candidates, and they have to be either one or the other.
Well, I mean, that's not true because there are third-party candidates
that have ever won.
Well, no, I mean, but they have the choice.
So what's the point?
The point is because they're required to give you a choice, and they give you a choice.
Do you think that it's a real choice?
What do you mean? What would the real choice constitute as?
Like it actually means what what they're saying it does.
No, I don't think it means what they're saying it does. But I don't think that whether or not it means what we think it does is the issue, because we still collectively allow for these things to happen. So even if
it is an issue, whether or not
it is an issue. Okay.
So what do you think that the most, if you had to pick one thing to make change, what would it be? If somebody asked you to, if you're in charge.
People's attitude. Make people have a positive.
How would you do that?
But make people have a positive attitude.
So everybody would still continue to do the things that you do, but that would be your most important deed to get done.
Yes.
As far as change.
Because people are, no matter what you did, people are going to have to do what they do. So if you had people doing what they do where they required good attitude, then nobody's going to be in a bad mood. Because everybody's going to understand that nothing is perfect.
Well, I think you have to consider what puts you in a good mood.
It's different for everybody.
You have to change all that.
Well, you said in a perfect world, you know. Well, you're saying one thing above all.
Well, I mean, where would you start? That's where you would start.
I'd instill in people a good attitude. What would you start?
Putting more transparency in what goes on. I would start there. That way, people can make their own assumptions
Okay.
without having to just go on what, say, like the way everything works. have people be informed about it.
Okay. Okay. I respect that. Do you think it would be easier if you weren't in the same room as me for the next one, where you're just talking to me over the internet instead of like looking at me in the eyes, because it feels like you're not, you're distracted, I think. Because I know that there are times when you'll get your point across really well. And there are times when you don't get your point across as well.
Sure.
How do you feel about that?
I would say that'd be true. There are times that I don't walk so good. There are times that I don't.
Any advice for new dads out there?
Patience. Have patience.
With yourself or with the baby or what?
The baby, understand that it's a baby and it doesn't know anything.
Okay.
You are the teacher.
Okay. Any advice for up and coming musicians?
Just keep at it and have a positive attitude. And, don't let ego and jealousy, because that's definitely not the way to get anywhere. Love the music, love playing. You'll figure it out.
Or you won't, but then you'll know whether or not it's right for you.
Right.
But when you're doing it, give it everything, right?
Sure. I mean, you love it.
But you should give anything in your life everything, though, right? Whether you love it or not, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it well. Or no?
Maybe.
The nihilist of the group, Mr. Jacob Reynolds, will always understand your side, because he knows that no matter what, his side is just one of 7 billion sides. It is what it is, right? It's almost 5 o'clock. Got to go to a party. Jacob's got a gig. I call it a gig. I mean, if you play music, it's a gig. All right. You good?
Mm-hmm.